And once again, it is my great privilege and honor to introduce the great Jenn Gotzon, who, if we count it correctly, has been in 15 movies in the last 4 years. Welcome back to the J-Ball Oldie Show.
Oh, I'm so excited, and the crowd goes wild. These are our personal folly effects that we're doing here at the Western Film Fair in the boardroom.
That is right. This is my first remote interview. We are at the Western Film Fair here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and this fair has been going on for 36 years, and Jenn Gotzon is one of the guest artists this year, and she has done a fabulous job. And I guess first, tell us what movies that you've done recently that are coming out or will be coming out in the very near future.
Okay, yeah. Well, thanks for... We counted the other day, and we counted 15, and then 4 additional were TV shows, so a total of 19. And out of that, what's coming out now, on July 22nd, Doonby is actually hitting stores, which we're really excited about. Best Buy, Walmart, Christian bookstores, so people can go in and actually purchase for the first time the copy, Blu-ray and DVD of Doonby. And that's the film that John Schneider and I are the stars in, and I crash his guitar a little bit.
Well, tell us a little bit about the storyline for Doonby. I have seen it, but I'm not going to give it away. But give us a whet our appetite about what it's about.
Okay. Well, my character is a spoiled party girl who walks on the wild side. And she lives in a small town in Texas. And out of nowhere, mysteriously, this man appears by the name of Sam Doonby, played by John Schneider. And he walks into Laura's life and starts showing her value and her purpose, realizing that underneath everything, Laura really is fighting to know who her identity is, who she is. Therefore, she turns to drugs, rock and roll, and all sorts of crazy lifestyle behavior. It's set in a blues jazz bar. And then Sam slowly starts showing her value and shows up at the right place at the wrong time. There's semi-trucks crashing and exploding with fire and shootings and all sorts of fun action. But Sam is there always to save the day, and the town's wondering, who is Sam Doonby? Who is this guy? And then we get to see, with a twist and a turn, what life looks like without Sam Doonby. And so people have compared it to It's a Wonderful Life, with the feel and the vibe of the Twilight Zone. And it has one of the most provocative twist endings I have ever seen in a movie. An ending that's similar to The Sixth Sense, where it leaves residue on your soul, wanting to learn and grow as a human person in hope and truth. This film has already saved lives. That's just incredible. So that's
wonderful.
Doonby. It's also on Netflix, and we were in theaters a couple months ago, and so it's been fun to see this film come out.
All right, and what are some of the other ones that are coming out?
Alone Yet Not Alone, which was nominated for an Oscar this year and then retracted. That was opened in theaters on Father's Day weekend. Now should be coming to DVD and Netflix very soon. God's Country is out on Netflix. I Am Gabriel is out on Netflix. And coming up, we're having a premiere for the movie Untouched, which takes place in Savannah, Georgia, and that premiere will be on July 29th. And it's a suspense thriller that really starts telling the truth about, the lives that we wrestle against with crime and thrill and suspense and all sorts of things about the importance of life.
Now, another movie that you've recently done that's come out on DVD now is The Good Book, and it's very unique. Tell us about that movie.
Yeah, The Good Book. The Good Book is the first silent Christian film. And it follows the lives of 7 different family members and how the Bible interacts with each person's life. So the story is actually about the Bible. The main character is the Bible, and it goes into one person's life, and you see a person who has a baby, and then their baby dies, and they're troubled, and she opens the Bible and she finds hope, and then she passes the Bible on, and a homeless lady picks it up, and she finds hope and goes into a church and is actually judged and kind of shunned. And then my character, Ruth, steps up from the choir and takes her in and clothes her and gets her a job and gets her up on her feet. And then she passes the Bible to me, and then my character walks in on my husband having an affair and my character actually ends up wrestling with the rejection of God after she's been working with the Lord for so long. So it shows these intricate stories and how the Bible actually relates to our life, present day. It's called The Good Book.
Great. I've seen it, and it's a great movie. I've seen all of them you've mentioned so far, so except for Untouched. I haven't seen that yet.
And unless you want to come down. Do you want to come to Savannah?
I would love to. What day? I would love to.
July 29th. Everyone can come. It's at the Lucas Theater in Savannah, Georgia. The entire town of Savannah has rallied around this movie. The entire film commission has, and it's a 1,200-person theater. Well, the red carpet will happen at 5:30. Showing will start at 7. Q&A with all of us. And the movie will happen later, and it's open to the public. Great.
Now, you just finished rapping on let me rephrase that. It makes it sound like you're going to do rap music.
We can rap. No? Yes?
That's fine.
Maybe? I would do like Andy Grisham with you, but I'm not be able to do that.
Well, some of us got it and some of us ain't.
That's true.
Anyway.
Can I just tell you how cool John is? We're at the Western Film Fair, and he's been helping me out. They have this table set up where all the guests will come by with their program books, and we'll sign little nice messages to everybody and encourage them. And John's been sitting there helping and being the best awesome steward you could possibly see. And his buddy Ronnie and him do these different skits.
From the Andy Griffith Show.
And the Andy Griffith Show. And they started out in song and dance and been entertaining us all. So if you have any callers, they should call in and ask you to do your impersonation.
Well, it started out, we serenaded Jenn yesterday. We were trying to teach her some things about the Andy Griffith Show, just kind of bring her up to speed. And that was a terrible Barney Fife impersonation. But anyway, we did a...
Take two.
Yeah. We decided to sing her the Mayberry Union High song at the table, and there was another singer there, Cindy Smith, who was going on that night, and she heard it and said, "You guys got to do that for the audience." So we ended up doing it on stage and also doing the song Church in the Wildwood. So that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't have been your assistant. And I just... you give such good advice on everything. I listen to what you say about acting. And speaking of which, you just finished filming a movie called Sinking Sand. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sinking Sand may be one of my favorite movies right now because I love this storyline. It's a crime suspense movie. Also takes place in Savannah, Georgia. Something with Savannah and crime and suspense. I don't know. Because Untouched is a kind of a similar storyline. What Sinking Sand is, it follows this woman. It's a young wife named Brooke McHenry. That's my character. She's married to a lawyer who's running for Senate, played by Tom Clark, who's one of the renowned radio personalities in Atlanta. And her husband abandons her in the midst of running for campaigning for Senate. And she's desiring to tell her husband that they're going to have a baby. And out of nowhere, this friend from college just shows up and starts chatting and kind of wins her ear and feels a need of affection and attention. And she slowly walks in sinking sand, slippery down a slope, developing an emotional relationship with him. By the time she realizes she needs to cut this off, and she breaks it off with Tyler Griffin, who's the character played by Jim Chandler, he ends up coming back and realizes that he's been recording all of their conversations, and he's blackmailing her. But not really blackmailing her husband who's running for Senate. And so it's this twist and turn and a plot shift. And as Brooke McHenry tries to go to destroy the evidence of this tape, he steps in the way and she smacks him with a piece of driftwood and runs off, and 2 days later realizes Tyler Griffin has been murdered. Her husband, the lawyer, takes the case, and a woman that is innocent has now been put on trial for murder. Meanwhile, Brooke McHenry knows what the truth is. And so you see this inner struggle of what sin does, bad choices do, and when we live in isolation and we choose not to be honest, one little path can lead to sinking sand. So we've got to make a mental choice to take a stance and really fight for what is right. And one of the lines in the movie, Brian Yarbrough and Glennis Becker are the writers. One of the lines in the movie that I love is that somehow, even though we know the difference between right and wrong, somehow we still end up doing the wrong thing. And it's almost as if we're watching somebody else do it instead of us. And I think there's such realism to that. It's just a beautiful story. Sinking Sand. We were on the front cover of the Savannah Morning News a little bit, so if people want to learn a little bit about the movie, they could go on, Google up Savannah, and they could take a read of the story. It should come out in 2015. And Kevin Sizemore is in it. He's my buddy from Los Angeles. Kevin plays the prosecuting attorney. And you may know Kevin from the TV show on ABC called Resurrection.
Great. You had a panel here at the Western Film Fair with Joyce DeWitt, and I thought that was just a great panel. And one of the things, you kind of touched on this in your talking about Sinking Sand, but talking about what types of roles that you seek out to play. Can you kind of share that with us?
Yeah. I am, for me, working as an actress is not just having fun and glam and the movies, and that's what a lot of people think of actors to have. For me, it's a very serious mission. It's a mission to be able to reach people's lives through entertainment and touch their soul through the art of media, through stories that can speak into the depths of the human core and share with someone what real hope is, healing and restoration of wounds, and allow the stories that they see on screen, these characters' lifestyles, for them to relate and say, wow, that's a little too close to home. Like the character in Doonby that I play, Laura Reber, who suffers from an addiction of alcoholism. And if someone can relate, and maybe that can help that person take that next step to recovery. And those are the stories that I like to do, films that really can leave an impact to help positively uplift and change culture. I'm a churchgoer, and I know for me and my journey, I don't know where I would be without a relationship with Jesus. Like, Jesus is my homeboy. Not like, I know some people don't see Jesus as a homeboy, but for me, he is my best friend, and he just leads me, and I just have this beautiful relationship with Jesus. And I look at the way that movies can be told is sharing that unconditional love that God has for us, the grace and that forgiveness and redemption. And so I always try to find characters that explore the human tragedy, the challenges we as humans face, because life is sticky, life is messy, and I love playing the broken characters who then have maybe an attitude adjustment through the journey, kind of like my character in God's Country, where she goes to become diva, all egotistical, all about her career, very idolatristic, if that's a word, to finally realizing what's important in life, and that's family, and stopping and just enjoying the gifts that God gives us. And so those are the roles I actively seek out. I love finding biopics. I love doing character transformations. But I really love bringing that authenticity of the challenges people face in life, bringing them to screen in the art of a story, of a movie that entertains us, that makes us laugh, that makes us cry, takes us on a journey. But at the end of the story, we are uplifted in our soul, we are inspired, and we may have a clearer understanding on how to take a step the next day to bring a smile on our face and those around us.
Wow. I had a follow-up question, but I don't need to ask one after that.
Did you fall asleep? I was talking a long time on that one. Sorry, everybody. I had a cup of coffee. I would share it with you all, but it might be kind of hard over the audio waves.
Well, what spiritual insight can you give to those who may want to follow in your footsteps?
Spiritual insight? That's a big question. For me, I grew up in a family that we went to church every Sunday, and I grew up in the Catholic Church. And my senior year of high school, I was on a retreat in Steubenville, Ohio, and at that retreat, they introduced us for the first time to really a personal relationship with Jesus. And my life changed that day. And like I was sharing a little bit ago, when I go through rough times or when I go through good times, I do my best to start each morning in prayer, reading the Bible, really reading the Bible, and really learning who Jesus is, learning why did he die for us, learning why why does he love us? Learning who he is as a teacher, who he is as a provider, who he is as a person who loves us unconditionally, and then learning all about the Old Testament. And all of these characters in the Bible are crazy people. I mean, we've got crazy people in the Bible. I don't know if anyone has ever looked at it, but we've got David, who's called the man after God's own heart. I mean, he's killing people and he's adulterizing and he's doing some crazy things, but his heart was so before God, wanting God to be the God of his life. And I think for me, that's what's kept me grounded in my journey, is really pressing in and seeking who is God. Why does he love us unconditionally? I believe very much that Jesus was his son. And what an amazing teacher. And that learning that he actually died. He was sacrificed so that we would be forgiven. And for those who believe that he died for us, just by the belief, we would be given with a gift of eternal life. And the good news to know that when we die, we will be with the Lord forever. And the gift of being able to have the Holy Spirit, which is Jesus' Spirit, walking through our lives each day through prayer, just by believing that Jesus is a Son of God, is incredible. And so it's all of those elements mushed together in a ball that goes into my heart, and that's kind of what makes me tick. And when I am not smiling, which I don't smile all the time, but when I'm not smiling, most likely is because I didn't spend time with Jesus that morning. But most of the time, I try to be due diligent and try to wake up and do that. But I am addicted to the snooze alarm. So sometimes my snooze alarm outwins, and then I pray in the shower, and that's just not the best.
I don't think I've ever seen you not smile. So obviously you're reaching your goal of being with Jesus each day. I've never seen you not smile. So
how about now?
Nah, that's fake. That's the actors coming at it. Before you go, let's Jen, be sure to give everybody your website and Facebook page information.
Oh, that's really kind of you. That's sweet. Well, actually, for anyone, like any of your listeners, if anyone's interested in arts and entertainment and movies and are curious about acting, I use my Facebook page as a way to reach out to people. And so my name is Jenn Gotzon, 2 N's in Jen, 2 O's in Gotzon, 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 and really reach out. And there's an inbox on my Facebook page. I don't have a personal account. I just have a page. That's what I operate and interact with. Connect with me there or on Twitter. I'm learning how to tweet. I'm finally kind of getting in the knowledge of that. So if you're Twitter people, tweet me and I'll tweet you back. And I'll retweet all sorts of stuff because it's kind of fun to hit the retweet button. And my website is jengotzon.com.
Well, Jen, I just want to thank you for coming on the show again. It is always such an honor to have you here because the light of Christ just shines out from you on a daily basis. Just being around you is wonderful because it's like being around Jesus, you know. And anytime you want to come back on this show, which is the rate you're going for the movies, I was telling Lisa earlier, you could probably be on my show once every month and we could update on the next movies that are coming out. But I do want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I cherish your friendship, and I'm glad you came on the show with us.
Thank you. I really love the CD that you made for me, the country CD. It's just so cool. I've really enjoyed it. Every time when I'm going to a film set, I'll pop that on and I'll learn all about where the different songs originated. And I appreciate your friendship very, very much.
And you've got an oldies one now that I gave to you too, so that'll be your next lesson, Oldies 101.
Oldies, would that be Paula Abdul?
No, that would be that's a little before Paula Abdul.
That would be oldies for me. No,
That's right.
Just kidding.
That's right. So we're working on that too, and I'm gonna. I already told you that for Christmas you're getting the Andy Griffith Show, so you get caught up on that. So, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.